I am doing something I never thought I would do, and because of that, I am extremely nervous about doing it. So let's record it and let's also play Let's Guess That Grade. Now the reason why I'm so nervous is to accomplish this goal, I have to break up my set. Now, not in the real sense, I'm not selling any of my T206 Polar Bear cards, but they're not all going to be in the same place. So if anything were to happen to this package, the set would be incomplete again, and that's something I never wanted to have happen, and it's the reason why I've always decided to buy graded and then sell the raw, even though I have what I believe are some nice copies that are raw. But I'm going to take advantage of SGC doing grading drop-offs at this year's National to sort of shortcut that method to where I can take the cards with me to Cleveland, give it to them, let them take care of it to Florida, and then have them just ship it back to me in Seattle. And I'm still not 100% confident in this process, but look, I have to do it. I have to overcome my fear of breaking up my set for maybe a few weeks because I know the end result is going to be a great one, more cards in that SGC tuxedo. But let's take a look at some of these cards right now. A couple of them are pretty easy. For example, this Tris Speaker, only grading it because it is Tris Speaker, but that bottom left corner is really rough. You can actually bend it back a little bit. Then we have Simon Nichols, only grading it because it is the rarest Polar Bear in the entire set, but it gets a little better from here. Then we have what I call some of the tattoo sleeve cards. We've got Del Howard, that actually was in a BGS 3.5 case, I believe, back in the day. Then we've got Hal Chase holding trophy variation. Another rarer Polar Bear, we've got Wildfire Schultz. So that's going to be a cool one to look at to see what that grade comes back. Shad Berry. We've got, look, Dummy Taylor. We all know about Dummy Taylor and his story. Then we have one of the coolest names in the set, Steamer Flanagan. We've got Bob Bescher portrait variation. We've got what we're calling Bud Sharp, but we all know that is Harry Hinchman pictured on this card. Then we've got Larry Schlafly. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Then we have the Orval overall, hands at waist level variation. Then we've got Clyde Milan. Then we have my most expensive raw purchase ever, that Ty Cobb red portrait. Polar Bear number 250, the one that completed my set. Really curious to have and to see that grade here in a few weeks. Then rounding out the last two cards, we've got Jimmy Burke. And then this Newt Randall is actually an extra one I actually picked up in SGC4, not realizing kind of maybe how nice this copy looks. I'll be curious why this one comes back. So here's what I'm most curious about from you as a viewer. I understand, right, the top end of the scale, what it takes to get a 10 by PSA or BGS 9.5. I'm a little maybe less clear. I know the grading scale on the lower end, but as you watch these cards go through, maybe go back and look at them again, how many of these cards, outside of course, the Tris Speaker and the Simon Nichols, how many of these cards do you think are going to achieve an SGC 3 or above? Or maybe you think none of them are going to achieve a 3 on this scale. I'll be curious where the end results land. And I'm doing this for two reasons. Number one, it's going to be cheaper if any of these come back at least a 3, which will be huge for me. But then number two, when I look down the road 10 to 15 years, where is my Polar Bear set? I want to finish this game. If I really ever do finish the game, I want to have an SGC 3 plus set. So that would be a huge win if maybe 6 or 7 of these came back a 3, and then I can sell the rest knowing they're not a 3, and then find a 3 in the near future. So leave that comment right now of how many cards you think are going to be in a 3 or higher grade. And as we speak, I am on my way to Cleveland for the National. So hit subscribe so you are notified when I get the grades back and I do that grading recap video. And if you are new or want to learn more about T206 and the players with a Polar Bear back T206 card, hit that like button and as well, hit that subscribe button.